Boy, my straight edge is not very straight today. Kind of like my brother. Just because it don't look straight don't mean it can't be straight, right, Kyle? All right, welcome back to Jesse's Performance, everybody. Tonight I'm in the shop with the Burn Bird. Last night I got the cage where I wanted it. Now I have to put floors in it because we are not Fred Flintstone. I'm not gonna be that guy. I want some nice floors in this thing. It's gotta be safe. So let's get this sheet metal in here and get it welded up. Let's go. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna get this driver's compartment done from this foot bar to this ass bar. The back seat's gonna go here, so that's gonna be a whole different piece. So the measurement between frame rails, center to center, I got 17 inches on the dot. And I got, it's the same in the front, they're square. I made marks on there. So I only have 48-inch piece of metal because I was cheap and went to the scrap pile. So that's gonna get us up to about this part of this bend here. But that's okay, because I wanted to put a tow bar in there anyways for my pedal box. So I will stop the sheet metal there. So I'll just start back here, go up there 48 inches. Where that stops, that's where I'm gonna roll with it because that's just how I am. We're just trying to make it easy and fun here. So let's get this metal marked up, cut, and see if it goes up in here. We're holding the record button there. Sorry, Stacie. Oh man, we got all kinds of shit in the way. Give me a second. There you go. All right, 17 inches. 17. Boy, my straight edge is not very straight today. Kind of like my brother. Just because it don't look straight don't mean it can't be straight, right, Kyle? All right, I'm gonna take this outside and put it in the brake. Get some gloves. All right, so the metal we're using is 18 gauge steel. It's a little thicker than I normally use, which is like 20 gauge. But again, I wanted this thing to be safe and yeah, so I'm gonna see if these shears is gonna cut this corner off this piece because that's the first modification I need to do. And then we'll have to trim for this brace, but so far it's in there and it's going, so let's go. So now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull my bead roller out and see if I can't run a bead around this to make this thing a little more rigid. So I'll mark probably 2 inches on the inside of that and bead roll that and see what I can come up with. But it's turning out how I want to. I'll hole saw this out. Maybe I'll dimple die that just for a finished effect. I think that'd be sick. And then I'll bead roll this, and then this should be a pretty rigid piece. And then I'll tack it into place, and then I'll move on. All right, so we have our piece back here on the table. You can see where I made my line. This is a little long. I'm gonna wrap that around the tube, which is perfect. This is just right. This is a little short. I think this was screwing with us. I could probably get it to come over more, but I think this is gonna help me weld the bottom of that with that tube. So if I get over too far, I'm not gonna be able to weld in there. So I'm gonna leave this. It's a nice straight line all the way around, so life is good. This weird notch here, that's because I welded down that base plate, and everywhere this is at, that's where my weld is. This is a corner, it's a gusset, makes sense. So what I'm gonna do first is I have my center point marked. I'm gonna get my hole saw out, and I'm actually just gonna manually drill and manually dimple die this here for our subframe bolt, so we can make sure that we can get it in and out. I'm gonna get this 19mm socket and make sure that this hole saw is big enough for that. All right, so I have the 19mm socket. It's literally the same size as this 1-inch bit, which is great because as soon as I drill this and we dimple die it, that's gonna open up to like, I think it's 1.5 inches. So this will have plenty of room to get in there and do what we need to do. I like that. Let me get my drill. So I'm gonna take and bead roll this inside edge with a lift. So I gotta figure that out. But I'm gonna have it with a lift. That way it comes up into the pipe. That way we don't go any lower. Because if you go with a drop, you could potentially go lower than the roll cage, and we don't want to do that. We'll tear this bad boy up. So I'm gonna move this camera and get this thing going here. There it is. Looks pretty good too. I like it. No wiggles, straight lines, good, nice radius curves. Taking your time, just do it. Then it becomes less flimsy of a piece. And, you know, I could go back around again if I wanted to, but I wanted to raise that up for that deal. So let's get this thing tested in the car and see what it looks like. I like that though. All right, so you saw me make this piece of this template, which is gonna be a really hard piece in this floor. That's the only bad thing about transmission tunnels is usually they're compound curves, which means two different ways of curving it. This one is absolutely that, so it's gonna suck. But I got a pretty rough template here. I got 9 inches here, that's where we should be, so maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe I can just tack it and heat it up and bend it and roll it and it'll go. So I'm gonna make it big so I can trim the edges if I gotta move it around a bit, but yeah, here we go. All right, so I got all the sheet metal in this car and it's starting to feel like a real car again. I love it. I'm ready to go. Don't forget to continue to follow the progress of this car. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, you know, whatever all that stuff is, just do it.